Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all.
Well, you know, when you drive all night, excuse me, when you drive all night, you really start to think about a lot of stuff. One of the things I've been thinking about is these things that are going on in our world today. And when I mean our world, I mean America. There is this national discussion, this debate that's going on. And I'm pretty certain that each one of us needs to decide, where we stand on these very important topics. And you might think the topics are environment, COVID, reimagining the police. Those really aren't the topics. Those are events. The topic is really, and maybe it's just that it is a topic, not topics, plural, but one. And that topic is, what is your view of the relationship of the citizenry to the government? As you know, I'm a Republican. And one of these days, I'm going to put out an essay on why I'm a Republican. And it'll probably shock you because I come from a Democratic family, not in my parents' generation, but in my grandparents' generation. And I'll write an essay on that, and I think it'll be interesting. But the topic today is, what is our relationship to government? Personally, I'm a Jeffersonian, so I believe that there are these natural laws. I think that our maker, realize Jefferson wasn't a Christian. He was a deist. He believed in God, but he kept it to himself, and he didn't really get beyond the fact that there is a supreme being, and that supreme being granted unto men certain things that governments and monarchs really had no power over, or should not have power over. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and the assumption of property. So Jefferson didn't make that up. Those are thoughts that went all the way back to early Western civilization with the Greeks. And people like Thomas Aquinas, and John Locke, and other people expanded upon and developed these thoughts throughout the course of the ages. Jefferson just happened to put pen to paper and express it so well. And with these natural laws come these things we refer to as innumerable rights. What the hell is an innumerable right? Look at the Bill of Rights. As Americans, those are our innumerable rights. And they establish the basis for the containment of government. And once you have government contained, that means those are rights, abilities, and privileges reserved for citizens, for you and me, and to which they should not be infringed for any reason, not in a free society. And what we're really seeing is a battle between those that believe in a free society and prioritize that, and those that would put more value on an orderly society, with the assumption that freedom is always there. That's not the case. So, when you think about the fact that we have these rights that are innately ours, and we have this premise that government should be contained, and that we as citizens should be able to choose as we see fit, versus this new line of thinking. And when I say new, it's a line of thinking that started when? 1930s. Hell's bells, not even 100 years ago. And I use this analogy a lot, but I like to play life in between the rumble strips, right down the middle. And I'm sure is here to tell you, I'm going to trust wise people through the ages of thousands of years versus some folks that looked at society, saw the conflicts, saw the inconsistencies, and began to interrogate society, and then contrive a methodology conversely to what I just described as natural law and innumerable rights. So this all started in a place called the Frankfurt School. For the most part, Frankfurt School was a bunch of scholars, Germany, in the 30s. And I'll just say it like this. There were a lot of deep thinkers there. But history tells us not a lot of folks there really got it right, did they? I don't think so. So the Frankfurt School gave rise to this concept of critical theory. Now, critical theory is a lot of things, and it's much too much to get into for what I'm going to talk about today. I'll do another video on that, I think. But critical theory basically drew into question Western civilization as we knew it at that point, and drew into consideration many other elements of society, and formalized an alternative methodology or strategy. That sort of gave rise to what we refer to as postmodernism. So, two unique things about the Frankfurt School and postmodernism is that critical theory rejects natural law. Critical theory rejects these precepts known to be true throughout the ages. Postmodernism added to this a very healthy dose of skepticism. So really what we have right now, the competing thought in this topic of the day, in this election, and forget about the personalities. It's not about the personalities, in my view. It really is, how do you view government and how do you view yourself? So, if you are to accept the basis of critical theory and postmodernism, you're going to adhere to the line of thinking that the most compelling narrative of the day wins the day, as opposed to time-tested truths succeeding through the ages. Well, what's the difference? Who cares? Okay. The narrative from the left will actually, by its natural basis, rejects natural law. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, property. There is no supreme being that grants those to you as a citizen in that view. But we seem to have them here in America, so where did they come from? Government. So if government can give it, what does government also have the ability to do but to take it away? Now I know government as it exists today is far from perfect. However, the preservation of natural law and the preservation of innumerable rights is key to this world as we know it. And this world as we know it is America. In America, without natural law and without innumerable rights, is no longer America. Alrighty, I'm going to keep driving. Y'all think about that.
If you didn't fire a musket till you looked them in the eyes, held on fire till you see their faces weld, and open up a squirrel guns and give them a little hell.